Hello and welcome to Cinema Sense, the show where I give my 2 cents on whether or not a movie may be worth your hard-earned cash at the box office. I'm your host and unqualified film critic, Bryce Cooke, and today we're diving into the next installment of the 2017 It movie franchise, It Chapter 2. When we, the audience, last left Derry, Maine, the Losers Club, a group of 7 kids who had bonded together over their experience as a social outcast, had defeated Pennywise the Clown, an evil, shape-shifting being responsible for the murders of the missing children of Derry. Believing the threat of Pennywise had been vanquished, our young protagonists parted ways, but not before making an oath that they would return to their hometown should the strange happenings of Derry ever resurface. Now, 27 years later, reports of missing children once again plague the town of Derry, and our once young heroes, Bill, Richie, Beverly, Stanley, Mike, Ben, and Eddie, are called back to their childhood home to end the murderous reign of Pennywise for good. Okay, so what did I like about this movie? Well, simple answer, a lot. Now, I know I'm not reviewing the first film in this franchise, but as much as I enjoyed the 2017 screen adaptation of it, I didn't really find it all that scary. In It Chapter 2, they definitely ramped up the horror aspects this time around. As an audience member, I felt dangled helplessly in suspense on several occasions, and I do not scare easy. Oh, and boy did they double down on the on-screen child murder. If you thought poor little Georgie's confrontation with Pennywise was rough from the first film, then buckle up for It Chapter 2, because it's like a 3-hour Bill Skarsgård-led child genocide in there. I mean, I'm not saying an increase in the number of scenes portraying the murder of adolescents is something I enjoyed, just that it added to the anxiety, fear, and hatred you feel every time Pennywise shows his horrifying clown face. In addition to bringing out more of the thrills a strong horror film can produce, the casting in this movie is amazing. The actors cast to pick up where the last movie left off not only look like dead ringers for the adult version of their child actor co-stars, but deliver really convincing performances that make you feel like you're watching the same character all grown up. It immerses you in the story and really helps you to emotionally buy into who they are and what happens to them. Not to mention, Bill Skarsgård's Pennywise is absolutely terrifying, but like, in a good way, because he's supposed to be scary. Now, as far as critiques go, this was a challenge. I really only have 2 nitpicky complaints. First, It Chapter 2 is long. Did it have to be virtually 3 hours? Probably not. There were definitely a few scenes that, although enjoyable, added nothing, if not very little, to the overarching plot. We're given some backstory scenes that really just feel like a rehashing of information that we learned from the first film about the characters, and then we're reintroduced to characters that are pretty much pointless except for adding maybe a jump scare or 2. My second nitpicky complaint is that I feel like there were several moments of misplaced comic relief. Now, most of the comic relief in this film, much like the first, is endearing and adds to our overall emotional attachment to the characters. However, there were a couple of scenes that I can think of that had all the potential to be really terrifying and anxiety-inducing and serious, but were undercut by a comedic bit that just was thrown in. For all the moves I felt like they made in order to make this movie scarier than the first, it just felt weird that they didn't always want to like fully commit. Speaking overall though, this movie is great. It is a near perfect sequel to the first and probably one of my favorite horror movie franchises of all time. It was a super fun theater experience. Please throw all of your money at it. But of course, that's just my opinion. Do you agree? Disagree? Let me know in the comments below because I would love to hear what you think. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you for another review in the next episode of Cinema Sense.